Collier County Board of County Commissioners, Community Redevelopment Agency Board, Airport Authority Agenda. Board of County Commission Chambers, Collier County Government Center, 3299 Tamiami Trail East, 3rd floor, Naples, Florida, September 22nd, 2015 at 9 a.m. Commissioner Tim Nance, District 5, BCC Chair. Commissioner Donna Fiala, District 1, BCC Vice Chair, CRA Chair. Commissioner Georgia Hiller, District 2, Community and Economic Development Chair. Commissioner Tom Henning, District 3, PSCC Vice Chair. Commissioner Penny Taylor, District 4, TDC Chair, CRA Vice Chair. Notice: all persons wishing to speak on agenda items must register prior to presentation of the agenda item to be addressed. All registered speakers will receive up to 3 minutes unless the time is adjusted by the chairman. Public comment on general topics not on the current or future agenda to be heard no sooner than 1 p.m. or at the conclusion of the agenda, whichever occurs first. Requests to address the board on subjects which are not on this agenda must be submitted in writing with explanation to the county manager at least 13 days prior to the date of the meeting and will be heard under public petitions. Public petitions are limited to the presenter with a maximum time of 10 minutes. Any person who decides to appeal the decision of this board will need a record of the proceedings pertaining thereto, and therefore may need to ensure that a verbatim record of the proceedings is made, which record includes the testimony and evidence upon which the appeal is to be based. Collier County Ordinance Number 2003-53, as amended by Ordinance 2004-05 and 2007-24, requires that all lobbyists shall, before engaging in any lobbying activities, including but not limited to addressing the Board of County Commissioners, register with the Clerk of the Board at the Board Minutes and Records Department. If you are a person with a disability who needs an accommodation in order to participate in the proceedings, you are entitled at no cost to you the provision of certain assistance. Please contact the Collier County Facilities Management Division, located at 3335 East Tamiami Trail, Suite 1, Naples, Florida, or call them at 239-252-8380. Assisted listening devices for the hearing impaired are available in the Facilities Management Division. Lunch recess is scheduled for 12 noon to 1 p.m. Agenda Item 1, Invocation and Pledge of Allegiance. 1A, Pastor Bob Scudiera, Faith Lutheran Church. Item 2, Agenda and Minutes. 2A, approval of today's regular consent and summary agenda as amended, ex parte disclosures provided by commission members for consent agenda. 2B, August 29, 2015 special meeting Tropical Storm Erica meeting minutes. Item 3, Service Awards. 3A, Employees. 3A1, 20-year attendees. 3A1A, June Dunphy Preston, DAS. Gloria Herrera, Growth Management. Neil McClarty, EMS. Joseph McLamana, Solid Waste. Linda Sujefsik, Parks and Recreation. 3A2, 30-year attendees. 3A2A, Alice Topi, Risk Management. Item 4, Proclamations. 4A, proclamation honoring Bentley Village for 30 years of business in Collier County, to be accepted by Ann Walsh, Executive Director of V at Bentley Village, and Jordan Scardino, Associate Executive Director at V at Bentley Village. 4B, proclamation recognizing the work of the Pace Center for Girls, Collier County, and its Love That Dress event, which has raised more than $245,000 for PACE and helps the organization fulfill its mission to provide girls and young women an opportunity for a better future through education, counseling, training, and advocacy. To be accepted by Marianne Kearns, Executive Director of the PACE Center for Girls, Collier. Item 5, Presentations. Item 6, Public Petitions. 6A, Public Petition Request from Ray Muslimani, President, NR Contractors Incorporated, requesting payment for rock excavation for contract 14-6197, Hammerhead and designated driveway construction. Item 7, public comments on general topics not on the future or current agenda. Item 7 to be heard no sooner than 1 p.m. unless otherwise noted. Item 8, Board of Zoning Appeals. Item 8 to be heard no sooner than 1:30 p.m. unless otherwise noted. Item 9, advertised public hearings. Item 9 to be heard no sooner than 1:30 p.m. unless otherwise noted. Item 10, Board of County Commissioners. 10A, recommendation to direct staff to take steps to improve public outreach and information regarding Collier County Emergency Medical Services, EMS, with the goal of better informing citizens on how emergency medical services are provided in Collier County. 10B, recommendation to designate Commissioner Tom Henning to serve as BCC liaison to the independent fire districts. 10C, recommendation that the board consider entering into an ALS interlocal agreement with North Collier Fire and Rescue. 10D, recommendation to direct staff to present a status report update on the operation of Collier County Emergency Medical Services, EMS. Report to include but not be limited to 1. Review of performance against adapted level of service standards. 2. Identification of areas of need across the county, if any. 3. Recommendations on methodologies and options, including cost estimates, to improve performance and meet additional needs, including additional resources and options to continue the BCC Sanctioned Improvement Program to close the gap in service between the rural standard, 12 minutes response time, AUIR, and the urban standard, 8 minutes response time, AUIR. And 4. Identification and opportunities for increased coordination and cooperation between Collier County EMS and the fire districts. 10E, that the Board of County Commissioners add as a legislative priority and an amendment to the County Administrator Statute which would end the dispute with the clerk with respect to purchasing. Item 11, County Manager's Report. 11A, recommendation to review and approve the proposed Collier County 2016 state legislation priorities. 11B, recommendation to approve an amendment to contract number 10-5455, management contract for the Collier County Area Transit CAT Fixed Route and Paratransit Program with Keolis Transit America Incorporated, extending the term of the contract up to 180 days, October 1st, 2015 through March 25th, 2016, and authorize the chairman to sign the county attorney reviewed amendment. 11C, recommendation to award invitation to bid number 15-6500 to DEC Contracting Group Incorporated in the amount of $1,784,105 for the renovation of the buildings at 3750 Enterprise Avenue to accommodate the Supervisor of Elections Office and centralized storage, and authorize the chairman to sign the attached contract. 11D, recommendation to award invitation to bid 15-6495 in the amount of $922,000 to Harn RO Systems Incorporated for the purchase and delivery of nanofiltration membrane elements for the North County Water Regional Treatment Plant. Project number 71057. This item is a companion to items 11E and 11F. 11E, recommendation to award invitation to bid 15-6504 in the amount of $290,400 to Harn RO Systems Incorporated for the purchase and delivery of nanofiltration membrane pressure vessels for the North County Regional Water Treatment Plant, project number 71057. This item is a companion item to 11D and 11F. 11F, recommendation to award invitation to bid 15-6502 in the amount of $1,996,155,000 to Harn RO Systems Incorporated for the North County Regional Water Treatment Plant membrane replacement and skid improvements, project number 71057, and authorize a budget amendment in the amount of $1,700,000. This item is a companion to items 11D and 11E. 11G, recommendation to adopt a resolution authorizing 1. The issuance of the Collier County Water Sewer District Water and Sewer Refunding Revenue Bond, Series 2015, in a principal amount not to exceed $18 million to advance refund a portion of the Collier County Water Sewer District Water Sewer Revenue Bonds, Series 2016, to achieve debt services savings of approximately $1.18 million. And 2, a negotiated sale of the Series 2015 bond pursuant to the proposal of Bank of America N.A. 3, the execution and delivery of an escrow deposit agreement with the Bank of New York Mellon Trust Company N.A. And 4, the execution and delivery of a rate lock agreement with Bank of America N.A. 11H, recommendation to complete the annual performance appraisal for the county manager, Leo Oakes. Item 12, County Attorney's Report. 12A, the annual performance appraisal for the county attorney. Item 13, other constitutional officers. Item 14, Airport Authority and/or Community Redevelopment Agency. Item 15, Staff and Commission General Communications. 15A, the current BCC workshop schedule. Item 16, Consent Agenda. All matters listed under this item are considered to be routine, and action will be taken by one motion without separate discussion of each item. If discussion is desired by a member of the board, that item or items will be removed from the consent agenda and considered separately. If you have specific requests for information about consent agenda items, call 252-8586. Item 17, Summary Agenda. This section is for advertised public hearings and must meet the following criteria. 1. A recommendation for approval from staff. 2. Unanimous recommendation for approval by the Collier County Planning Commission or other authorizing agencies of all members present and voting. 3. No written or oral objections to the item received by staff, the Collier County Planning Commission, or other authorizing agencies or the board prior to the commencement of the BCC meeting on which the items are scheduled to be heard. And 4. No individuals are registered to speak in opposition to the item. For those items which are quasi-judicial in nature, all participants must be sworn in. For specific summary agenda item information, call 252-8586.